CRMs for B2B sales. Techniques for mastery. Why most CRMs stall out in B2B sales. Most B2B teams don't have a CRM problem. They have a CRM mastery problem. The software is live, licenses are paid for, and leadership wants reporting. Yet reps still run the real workflow in inboxes, notes, and side spreadsheets. In a market where 91% of companies with 10+ employees use a CRM, simply having one no longer differentiates you. Using it well does. When the CRM isn't designed around how SDRs and AEs actually sell, it becomes a reporting tax instead of a revenue system. Data gets entered late, or not at all, pipelines turn stale, and forecasting becomes a debate about whose memory is right. That's where the CRM quietly turns into your most expensive spreadsheet. Mastery looks different. The CRM is where your outbound engine lives, where your managers coach, and where your revenue plan is anchored. Whether you run an in-house team or work with a cold calling agency, the goal is the same. Every call, email, meeting, and next step is captured in a way your team can trust and act on. Once the CRM becomes the easiest place to work, adoption stops being a push and starts becoming a habit. The business case: ROI, productivity, and predictable pipeline. CRM mastery pays when it changes daily behavior, not when it produces prettier dashboards. Companies report an average of $8.71 in revenue for every $1 invested in CRM, but that return shows up only when your CRM is integrated into how reps prospect, qualify, and manage opportunities. Done right, CRM stops being software and becomes an operating system for pipeline. The performance lift is measurable. After implementing a CRM, organizations see an average 29% increase in sales revenue and a 34% boost in sales productivity. Separately, 94% of businesses report a surge in sales productivity after adopting a CRM platform, usually because teams gain faster access to data and automate repetitive workflows. In practical terms, that means more at-bats per rep and fewer deals dying quietly due to missed follow-ups. If you lead a sales agency, an outbound sales agency, or an internal SDR org, the financial case comes down to throughput and consistency. More meetings created by your cold calling services and cold email agency efforts only translate into revenue when the handoff, qualification, and next step discipline is airtight inside the CRM. A good CRM is the one that produces predictable conversion rates and defensible forecasts week after week. Design the CRM around your sales motion, not the vendor defaults. Before you add a single field, we recommend mapping your real sales motion from first touch to closed won. Sit down with SDRs and AEs and walk through a typical cold call, the follow-up cadence, the qualification checkpoints, and the exact moment an opportunity is created. When stages and fields mirror real conversations, the system feels natural and adoption rises because reps don't have to translate their day into CRM language. The fastest way to break reporting is to let every department design their own pipeline. When marketing, SDR, and sales each add their own stages and definitions, you get a Frankenstein funnel that no one can coach against and no one trusts. Governance beats chaos. Define a single shared funnel with clear entry and exit criteria. Then use permissions and views to tailor what each team sees without changing what the funnel means. One field makes an outsized difference in B2B forecasting and deal hygiene. Next step with a date. Make it required on every open opportunity and key account so nothing can sit in stage 2 forever without an owner and a plan. This turns your pipeline into a living system where managers can coach on what's actually happening next, not what people hope will happen. Build a lean data model and clear ownership rules. Over-customizing early is a silent adoption killer. Hundreds of fields, duplicate objects, and unclear definitions slow the system down and create guess and save behavior that pollutes data and breaks reports. Start with a lean core model, accounts, contacts, leads, opportunities, and add fields only when there is a clear use case, a defined owner, and a downstream decision that improves because the field exists. Data discipline works best when it is simple. Define a minimum data standard for each record type and enforce it at the right points in the workflow. For outbound teams, that usually means a handful of fields that enable segmentation and prioritization: industry, segment, persona, buying role, plus the operational fields that keep work moving: owner, status, last touch, next step. When reps know exactly what done looks like, the CRM stops feeling subjective and starts feeling reliable. If you use sales outsourcing or an outsourced sales team, whether that's an SDR agency, pay-per-appointment lead generation partner, or a specialized B2B sales agency, integrate them into the CRM early. Agree on definitions like SAL, SQL. Create clear lead statuses and meeting outcomes, and design the handoff so AEs receive consistent, complete context. The goal is a single system of record where internal and external teams can execute without creating parallel spreadsheets. A CRM should automate the capture of work and demand human clarity on what happens next. Automate input, not judgment, so reps get time back. Reps don't resist CRMs because they hate organization. They resist CRMs because they hate redundant admin. Salesforce research shows sellers spend only about 28 to 30% of their time actually selling, which means the largest productivity unlock is removing non-selling work from their day. Your CRM should reduce friction by auto-logging emails, calls, and meetings, and by creating tasks from real triggers, not by asking reps to copy-paste their week into form fields. Manual data entry is a known obstacle. 23% of CRM users cite manual input as a major challenge. If your cold callers are expected to dial all day and then spend an hour doing after-work documentation, your system is designed to lose. Integrate your dialer, email platform, and calendar so activity capture happens automatically, and reserve rep input for high-value judgment, qualification, stakeholder mapping, deal risk, and the next step. Mobile access matters more than most teams admit because it lowers the "I'll do it later" delay that kills data quality. Salespeople using mobile CRM are far more likely to hit quota, 65% compared to 22% who don't, because updates happen when the context is fresh. If your CRM feels usable everywhere, adoption becomes a natural extension of selling instead of a nightly chore. Adoption and change management. Prevent the failure trap. CRM projects don't fail because the technology is weak. They fail because behavior doesn't change. Between 20 to 70% of CRM projects fail or underperform, with poor user adoption and weak integration consistently showing up as root causes. If leadership rolls out a login link and calls it enablement, reps will treat the CRM as compliance and keep their real workflow elsewhere. We recommend a time-boxed adoption sprint that makes the right behavior easy and visible. For 60 days, run role-specific training with real scenarios, not generic feature tours. Publish short how-to videos, hold office hours, and audit a small set of must-have fields for completeness. The goal isn't to police activity, it's to make CRM usage the most direct path to pipeline reviews, territory planning, and recognition. This is also where you fix the classic mistakes: ignoring data hygiene because we'll clean it later, using the CRM as a Rolodex instead of a process engine, and never pruning unused fields and automations. Put a monthly cleanup cadence on the calendar, dedupe regularly, and review customizations quarterly so the system stays fast and intuitive. When sellers trust the data and the workflow, the CRM stops being something they have to do and becomes how they win. Run coaching, forecasting, and outbound decisions from the CRM. Dashboards should be coaching tools, not just leaderboards. Build reporting that shows conversion by step, connect to meeting, meeting to opportunity, opportunity to close, and pair it with activity mix so managers can coach with facts instead of vibe. When reps see that CRM data directly improves their one-to-ones and helps unblock deals, they stop viewing updates as admin and start viewing them as leverage. Role-specific visibility is what keeps the CRM useful for frontline teams. SDR views should surface who to contact next, what sequence is active, and what happened on the last touch, while AE views should highlight pipeline by stage, deals with no next step, and accounts that have gone cold. Leadership should see pipeline coverage, forecast categories, and outbound performance in one place, so you can invest confidently in channels like B2B cold calling services, telemarketing, or LinkedIn outreach services based on actual ROI. This is where integrating your outbound motion becomes non-negotiable. If you work with SalesHive, our platform is built to sync activity and outcomes into your CRM, so every dial, email, and meeting booked is trackable and attributable without a black box gap. When your CRM captures the full loop, from list building services and targeting through meetings and closed revenue, you can tune messaging, prioritize ICP segments, and deploy budget with precision. Next steps: keep improving and make the CRM your revenue operating system. CRM mastery is not a one-time implementation. It's ongoing operations. Set a quarterly governance rhythm to review stages, required fields, automations, and integrations, and remove anything that creates confusion or doesn't drive decisions. If the system gets cluttered, reps will route around it, so pruning is just as important as building. AI should be your assistant, not your VP of sales. Use it for enrichment, activity summaries, recommended next actions, and cleaner handoffs, but keep human judgment for qualification, deal strategy, and stakeholder nuance. The win is a CRM that reduces cognitive load while preserving the reality that complex B2B deals require context and discretion. If you want to move fast, start by tightening the basics: one shared funnel, a required next step discipline, automated activity capture, and dashboards used weekly, not quarterly. Then, connect the system to the execution layer, whether that's your internal team or a partner providing cold call services, a cold email agency motion, or sales development agency support. When the CRM and outbound engine run as one system, you get cleaner data, stronger coaching, and a pipeline you can actually plan around.